Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about two very important questions that I get asked a lot, and especially now more than ever. I'm getting asked these questions a lot. Question number one, can I drive all the way down to Merida? Or can I drive basically anywhere from the US border through Mexico into Mexico to whatever part? Merida Mexico, the Yucatan, where I'm at now, is literally probably the furthest point from the US border. And again, I keep getting asked that question, so short answer, yes, you can definitely drive all the way from the US border to Merida, Mexico, which is again around 4 to 5 days. Very safe, as long as you stick to the main highways. And we're going to be talking about that in a second. Now, the second question I get asked a lot, and again, I'm getting this asked a lot more because of the climate that we're all in right now. And the question is, when is the right time to move out here? When is the right time to make the move? And again, short answer, now. As soon as possible. The quickest you can do it. Now, everyone has a different situation, you know, that's for sure. And we all know that. You know, some of you guys can pick up and leave and be out here in a few weeks, which some of you guys have done that. Some of you guys have a lot of things and a lot of loose ends you got to tie up, a lot of things that you got to do in order to make sure that you're able to make that transition easily and quickly and able to do it. And again, you know, it just all depends on you. But I know a lot of people, because I talk to a lot of you guys, and a lot of people are always basically procrastinating, basically always looking for an excuse or a reason or whatever, you know what I mean, as to why they can't do it. Again, outside of, like, let's say that you got to sell your home before you make the move, you know what I mean, something big like that, or you know, you have a whole family with kids and you got to uproot the whole thing, you know, outside of certain situations that are just going to be a little more difficult than usual, a good majority of you guys, all you got to do is leave. A lot of you guys are like, oh, but my job, what about your job? Oh, but what, you know, I got this place in XYZ, what about it? You know what I mean? And it can go on. And all I hear are excuses, okay, more than anything else. So, you know, and again, as time goes on, you know what I mean, like one thing that I'm currently discussing with a lot of you guys right now is the increase in prices. Now look guys, I'm not a realtor, I'm not anything like that, okay? In fact, I don't even look at those websites or look at any of that. I tell you where to go and you look for them, and then I help you with the rest. I'm not into that, okay? I just help you guys with whatever you guys can't do yourself, okay? But with that being said, I am noticing a price increase all across the board. Now, the price increase is coming for many reasons, you know. Reason number one, high demand. Now, the high demand is coming because right now we're in the middle of the tourist season. We're about to start, actually, the tourist season, okay, which is snowbird season. So that's starting, so high demand. On top of the high demand is even increased even higher because of the fact that, you know, Mexico is one of the only places that's open. So there's a lot of people around the world trying to escape, a lot of people around the world looking for a vacation, and so, you know, again, Mexico is one of the only places. So high demand. So high demand because of the season, and high demand because of the situation, the worldwide climate at the moment. So we got two high demand situations. Another one, the fact that, again, you know, we spent the whole year closed down, and there's a lot of people trying to recoup and remake that money. And as more and more people show up and they're paying in dollars or euros, well, guess what? You know, they're also looking, you know, to increase the price because they're trying to eat. They're trying to put ends to, you know, trying to make ends meet and trying to put everything together and so on and so forth. So, you know, there's a lot of little things like that. Okay, so look guys, the reason I'm walking all the way out here, first of all, we gotta run a few errands, but there's a little store right by my house. As you saw, it was only about less than 5-minute walk. I have a bunch of electronics I need to fix. So I was like, I pass by here all the time. So one of the things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in there now and we're gonna talk to them and see if they can fix it. So give me a few seconds, let me go in there and take care of that, and we're gonna finish the conversation on the way to La Plaza, okay? Which is, you know, I gotta go to the grocery store, I gotta do a bunch of things over there. So let me go take care of that and I'll be right back. All right, awesome. Yeah, so the thing is, I have like a bunch of devices, you know what I mean? Like that I brought with me from the US. People donate to me just from being out here and stuff like that. So I got like a bunch of phones, I got a tablet, you know, I got like some Wi-Fi router thingamajiggy, I got my own phone that needs servicing. So, you know, the guy pretty much told me, he's like, yeah, you know, basically bring all the stuff over here. We're gonna order, you know, the stuff online, you know what I mean? Once, you know, you pay for it, we'll come over here. And then once all the materials are in-house, then we fix the stuff, we fix everything. And so again, the materials can just basically get delivered to my home. And once they're in my home, then basically all I gotta do is just bring them over to him, and that's it, easy peasy. So not really much of a big deal, you know what I mean? All we gotta do now is I gotta go back home. I gotta get back all the devices. All right, once I get all the devices, yeah, I thought it was going this way, I forgot this way. A little distracted. But anyways, I get all the devices, bring them back, and then yeah, we look at all the parts, we order the parts, get the parts to my home, and then I come back with the parts and the phones, tablets, and all that stuff, and then he fixes everything for me. So should be pretty easy peasy. But anyways, all right, I digress. So the next thing we were going to talk about today, I mean, not the next thing, but the first thing we were going to talk about, which is, can I drive out here? So we're going to be talking about that now. Can I drive out here? Okay, and the answer is yes. It's a big emphatic yes. In fact, this is one of these things that I wish I would have known when I first moved out here, you know what I mean? Like before I moved out here, because I had a car, and yeah, it wasn't the greatest car, but it was a serviceable car. It was a great car that got me, you know, all across the country and then some, you know what I mean? It was my car, you know what I mean? I fucking loved that thing. And I wanted to drive down here. I wanted to drive all the way out here because I've driven across the country. I've driven so much with that car that I figured, fuck it, I can drive out here. But I really couldn't find any real tangible, you know, type of you know, video or information out there about driving out here, about that whole situation. And so since I couldn't, I just basically gave up on the idea before I could get started. And that's where I was with the whole idea on driving, because I really wanted to drive, you know, out here and bring my car out here. And again, basically for a couple of reasons. Reasons number one, because I wanted to, you know, not pay for a flight. Bruh. You know what I mean? I said, fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather, you know, if I got my car, I can drive through here. I'm not really scared per se. But I was scared, you know what I mean? Like I was, because I back then, years ago, you know, I had all the misconceptions and all the doubts and all the scary parts, you know, all the scariness that came with, you know, that whole thing of Mexico, you know what I mean? Like, I was just scared and I didn't know. And so even though I knew I was coming to Merida, which was super safe and awesome, and they're Mexico super safe, I didn't know how the highways were. I didn't know how driving out here was. I didn't know how safe and secure things were until I finally came out here. And after I was here just a few months, I was like, man, I should have driven out here. Fuck, I would have had my car out here. And again, it wasn't even about having the car out here, but it's just like, it's an asset that I had to leave in the US, and I could have very easily, by the way, I just gave it away to a friend that helped me a lot in the US, so I just gave them the car. But the reality was that, like, I would have much rather had it here, and I could have, again, made the car disappear, sold it for parts. I could have done a million, I'm in Mexico for crying out loud, I could have done a million things with that asset. And especially when I first came out here, then I only came out here with $1,500 to my name. So it was you know, something that I was kicking myself in the butt afterwards, okay? Now, you know, after I investigated it a little bit more, oh, look at this, there's an iguana. Maybe you guys can see it. So these guys are everywhere out here, by the way, at least in this part of the Yucatan. I mean, in this part of Mexico. And they're scary cats, man. The iguanas out here are fucking big scaredy cats, because I'm from Florida, South Florida, and again, it's all about the U, baby. Go Dolphins. Anyways, but yeah, I'm from Florida, and in Florida, you know what I mean, we got those fucking iguanas everywhere too, and they're not scared of you. They'll come up to you, they'll fucking attack your ass, you know what I mean? They'll fucking take a chunk out of you if you're fucking around too much. Big difference, okay? Out here, every iguana I've seen runs away like a little scaredy cat. So I don't know, whatever. You know, maybe they smell that I'm from Florida and they know I fucking eat gators and shit, so. Bruh. You know, so they probably already smell it. But anyway, so yeah, can you drive out here? And the answer is emphatic yes. Now, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and give you all the information on all that, because you know what? The reality is that you don't really need that much information. You just gotta do a little research and put a little work into it. Now, the reality was that, like, even though there wasn't that much information out there back then when I came out here, and for me to make the decision on whether I could drive or not, basically one of the major concerns I had was I was scared, okay? I'm human, you know what I mean? And so I was really, you know, at that point of like, fuck, I don't want to risk it. I mean, I'm already taking a huge risk and doing a lot of fucking things without any, you know, without any like help, or doing it all alone and without much resources. So I really didn't want to take it to that next level, because I honestly had zero fucking resources, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, sorry if it's a little loud. We got a lot of the music and things are getting back to normal. We're out here. Here, I'll show you the noise. We got the noise coming from over here. Hold on. But anyways, as I was saying, back to what I was saying. If I would have had that knowledge, if I would have had a little bit more knowledge about that, I would have definitely come out here without a problem in my car. But the reality was that, like, even though I figured out, damn, I could have come out here, I could have driven out here and it wouldn't have been that difficult or scary. The reality is that as I was investigating further, I realized I might not have been able to afford to drive out here, because I later on realized that, like, yeah, the highways and the roads in Mexico are amazing, and in many cases some of the highways are way better taken care of. You know, the major highways, you know, the one that's going to get you from the border to here. Yeah, again, just like in the US, we got major highways, you know, whether it's like I-95 or I-10 or whatever, they got their versions of these highways out here, and in many cases they're way better taken care of and way better and easier to drive and safer and all these other things than the ones in the US. But it comes at a cost. What is the cost? Well, simply the cost comes in the tolls. They got to maintain these highways one way or the other, and they usually come from private funds to you know what I mean, to make sure that these highways stay working. Because out here, a major thing is that, again, I mean, the whole government thing, you know, that's a major reason why a lot of people want to move out here and live out here, is because it's not, government is unreliable here. The people know that, and they don't put any, I don't know, they don't put much validity, or, you know what I mean, they don't really rest too much on the government. They just do things themselves, and they're used to that already. So with that being said, that's why, you know, when it comes to something as simple as this right here, you know, again, the people have to maintain these highways, and since they're privately funded and privately run and privately taken care of, well, you already know the rest, you know what I mean? They actually work and they actually take care of them, but it comes at a cost. So instead of taxes, because taxes do not pay for that, taxes are not for that here, you know, again, they have to be paid for one way. So who pays for it? The people that are on the highway. The more people on the highway, I'm sure the less, you know, the cheaper the tolls will be. But as of now, the tolls are expensive. So again, everyone has a different version of what expensive is. It might be expensive for me, but it might be inexpensive to you. But if you're coming from the US, it's expensive. If you're coming from New York and you're going back and forth through the fucking tunnel and paying a lot of money every day, it's probably not expensive for you. But for the majority of Americans, you know, that are used to paying minimal tolls, if any, very expensive. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so number one, the tolls are expensive, and it's expensive to drive down. Number two, it's longer than expected, meaning that Mexico on the map looks small and tiny, but when you're actually here, it's huge. It's really huge. That's what she said. So that's another thing. Number one and number two. Number three, you need a special permit for your car. So again, even if I wanted to drive down here, I could, you know, I didn't know about that permit. I was just gonna drive out here and then eventually get in trouble. But basically, you need a special permit to drive in Mexico with your American tags. Because again, you know, I'm out here in the furthest part of Mexico to the US, land-wise, and yet I see tags out here from Oregon, from Michigan, from Florida, from all kinds of places. And you're like, well, how do they get here? Well, they simply drove here, obviously, but they need a special paperwork in order to make sure that they can drive out here. You follow me? And so that's the situation with that. So, you know, the reality is that yes, you can drive out here. Yes, it's safe, especially if you stay to the highways and you only stop in major areas and major rest areas. A lot of people ask me about the pet friendliness. Look, the reason a lot of you guys want to drive out here is because of your pets, because you can't get them on a flight and you can't sell everything you own, and so you need to bring them, you know, bring your pets with you on the plane, and you also need to bring your stuff. Yeah, sorry, you're trying to bring your pets on the plane, you can't bring your pets, so you got to drive them out here. And then again, some of you guys, it's stuff, you have too much stuff that you cannot get rid of. And look, there's you know, there's a lot of you guys that I totally understand. You can't get rid of certain things and you need to figure out a way to bring it out here. You can do it, but you just need, you know, to do the research out there. And I'm not the guy for the research. I'm just telling you a little bit more as a friend that lives out here, as a friend with experience and all this stuff. I'm just telling you that yes, you can drive out here. Yes, it's safe. Yes, it's possible. It's probably going to cost you a few more bucks than actually flying out here, and so on and so forth. And again, depending on many factors. But the reality is that yeah, you can come out here no problem through land. Okay, so you know, that's a major, because that's like a major question. In fact, you can actually, because of the Pan American Highway, you can drive all the way from the American-US border all the way down to Argentina. Okay, and that's a long way. So in a sense, you can, as far as I know, you can drive all the way down, you know, from Alaska, for crying out loud. You can drive from Alaska all the way to Argentina. As far as I know, you might have to take a ferry here or there, you know, as you get south of the border, maybe crossing the Panama Canal and so on and so forth. But it's doable. You can definitely do it. All right. So, but again, it's rough. So like when you're crossing through Mexico, when you're going all across Mexico, and especially if you're just coming out here, it's not really that big of a deal. Let me get some shade over here. It's really not that big of a deal. You can definitely do it without much of a problem. But once you're, you know, say, hey, I want to go to Guatemala, I want to keep going south, I want to go to El Salvador, okay, you might need a four-wheeled vehicle. You might need you know, a better vehicle for extreme conditions. You follow me? In extreme areas and locales. But as of here, no, man, you know what I mean? You'll be totally fine. In fact, if you get yourself like an extreme vehicle or a big truck or anything like that, it's probably going to be harder for you in certain areas to get around and move around, because everything's so small and tiny, and all the cars here are smaller, and just so many things like that. So with all that being said, you get what I'm saying? You know, there's a lot of factors that you're going to have to take into place. There's a lot of things that you gotta like you know, take a look at, and you gotta like understand when you're coming out here, you know. So you know, the reality is that yeah, you know what I mean, like you can actually drive out here, you know, without a problem. And you should just do it, you know, because the second thing, you know, that we're gonna talk about here, that we've already touched on a little briefly, is like, when is the right time to do it? Now. Just do it now. As each day progresses, as each day moves forward, as everything just keeps moving, you know what I mean, in the direction it's moving, it's just going to get worse and more difficult and harder and more expensive, and I could go on. The list is too big to talk about and mention here. Again, you know, the main reason is the fact that you are losing value every day. Everything is also getting more expensive, however you want to look at it, through inflation, because of this, because of that, yada yada yada. But again, you know, even out here, you know, the time to really come out here to, for example, to Merida, to get those amazing badass deals was years ago. Right now, you can still get amazing deals, okay? You can pay for a home out here, again, $50,000 to $100,000, give or take, okay? But that's already too expensive for some people. And it's only gonna get more expensive as the demand keeps increasing, as people like me and so many others keep making videos about this place, as more and more people keep coming out here, whether they're driving out here, flying out here, walking out here, swimming out here, however the fuck they're getting out here, they're coming out here. And it's only, the population keeps increasing, everything keeps, you know, again, as they try to lower the price and keep everything at a low price, again, you know, there's only so much they can do you know, before the price, you know what I mean, just has to go up because of supply and demand. And so sure, you know, you might still find a lot of things out here cheap with a low cost of living all around, but the home that you want to buy or rent is probably not going to be the price that I told you, you know what I mean, or the price that you heard 3-4 years ago. Things are changing, and they're changing dramatically, because as the rest of the world closes off and closes down, and there's less and less locations for people to move out to, okay, as other areas around the world, not just here, but as other areas around the world get more and more restrictive or expensive or harder to come into, so will this area, you know what I mean? So again, even though this is probably one of the last bastions of freedom, where you can come out here and you be pretty free and pretty chill and pretty whatever, it doesn't mean that things are not gonna, you know, increase in price, because everyone is looking for freedom now. Everyone is looking for exactly what you're looking for right now. And so that's why the time is now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, well, yesterday would have been great, but actually not tomorrow, not a week from now, not a month, no, now. Just start doing it now. Stop making excuses, because there's going to get to a point where you're not going to have any more time to make excuses. And like a lot of you guys already out there, you guys are already stuck and there's no way out, or at least not in the immediate future. So guys, I sincerely implore to you, I sincerely, you know, I'm putting out there that, you know, stop making excuses, okay? You can drive out here, okay? So, and, you know, nothing is closed, everything is wide open. So not only can you drive out here, but you can also, you know, come out here very safely and very securely, okay? Without any kind of problem. And the second thing is, when can you do it? When should you do it, I mean? Now. Just do it already, okay? Stop thinking about it, okay? Watching these videos is a small step forward, but you got to start taking action before it's actually too late. And trust me, I have these conversations with you guys all the time. Some of you guys tell me, oh, I'm coming out there in 5 years. Oh, okay, you know what I mean? I hope you can make it out here. I hope to see you. You know what I mean? But again, you know, the way things are going, I might not even be here in a few years. I might be in another part of Mexico. I plan on traveling other parts of Mexico and being in other parts of Mexico. So again, stay tuned, and, you know, yeah, stay tuned for that. You know what I mean? I was going to say something else. Yeah, be planning for that. You know what I mean? If you want to see other parts of Mexico, I will be in other parts of Mexico as well. And we're going to see how all this turns out, okay? As of now, I'm here and we're enjoying this. But again, you know, we're going to have to go with the flow, like I tell you guys to do all the time. So guys, you already know the deal. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoy this kind of content, you already know what to do. Don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit that bell icon. But more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.